start, or wherever you want to
Further
start.
back.
Yeah, wherever you want to start.
Yeah, further back. I think it definitely starts with just where I grew up, right? Back in the Middle East in a country called Bahrain, right? And I was born to, at the time, to Muslim parents. And I'm half Egyptian, half Filipino, right? And then when I was about 8, turning 9, we moved to Canada, and that's when things really started to shift for me, because I think for the first 8 to 9 years of my life, I was surrounded by Muslims, right? And in a very Muslim dominated environment. And then when I moved to Canada, there was a short period where I think I went to church for a couple times with your family, actually. And
Yeah.
that was my first ever, I guess, encounter with God that I could remember, really, right? And I think, yeah, that's when the course of my life really started to change, and I didn't even realize it. And even my mom's own life was affected by it, because um, when I was born, like, again, like I said, like, I grew up to two Muslim parents, but when we moved to Canada, she actually um, uh, uh, became Christian again. It's kind of, she has her own story to tell. But then um, um, I guess I just, like, my dad wasn't with us at the time, and then when he came back to Canada, he, like, that's when I started like, going to mosques again. But then I kind of realized, you know what, this doesn't really feel like me. Something feels very, very empty, right? And I think God just took me on a journey of uh, really discovering what faith I believe in, and which God I believe in, right? So uh yeah, like, so many years down the line, that's when, like, after going through high school and then university and then my master's, then that's when I finally found God, after so many events in between took place, but so
Yeah.
many to recount.
How many years would you say that was? More than like 5 years, right? Like
you,
your journey to
yeah,
Jesus.
yeah, I think, like, probably about 14 years, I'd say. Um, does that make sense? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
because I think I got saved at
totally.
22. Yeah. Um,
A-
Go
And
ahead.
how was like knowing that your mom became a Christian, your dad was still Muslim? How did that affect you at that time?
Hmm. Yeah. So on the outside, I don't really think that I showed that it affected me, right? But on the inside, it felt like inner turmoil, right? I felt like the faith that I choose meant that I was choosing between each parent, basically, right? If I choose one faith, that means I'm choosing this parent, choose the other than the other parent. And I never wanted to make that decision. So I avoided uh, the truth, right? Because I think uh, I knew for a long time that it was actually Jesus that I was praying to, and that was my God, but I avoided it, right? Because I didn't want to live that reality quite yet. I wasn't ready.
Mm.
No.